Welcome to Makeup and More by Donna. I'm Donna. I am an esthetician, a freelance makeup artist, wig and hairstylist that's been working in the beauty and entertainment industry for over 30 years. In this video, I want to show you how I apply a everyday, more of a natural looking eyeshadow application on someone that has more deep set eyes. And this happens to be Mary, and she'll be our model for this video. So enough with my talking, let's get started. As you can see, Mary has all her makeup on except for her lips and of course her eyes. And I also did her eyebrows, so all I'm going to be doing is just the eye makeup itself. So I'm going to start now, and I'm going to be using a base color and then I'm going to work on it. So I like to apply this eyeshadow when I'm applying it with a brush that's more like this. It's flat, it's still fluffy, but it's still compact. And the reason why is that it picks up color and it doesn't make it go everywhere, like create fallout when you're applying it. So I'm going to be taking a light color. Now I'm taking the excess, I'm taking the eyeshadow and I'm working it like this. And I really want to get the makeup in the brush like this, okay? Now here's a little trick. You need to take the excess off. So I usually tap it on a Kleenex or back of my hand or whatever, because you don't want all that extra makeup fallout. So this will help prevent, or at least minimize, the fallout. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the makeup like this. I'm not going to be doing this motion at all, because when you do this you get a lot of fallout. So I'm just placing it, and then I'm going to go back and blend. Now with deep set eyes, as you can see, it's very shadowy and you've got the brow bone here. Now we want to minimize that as much as possible. And of course, we can't totally get rid of it, because if we did, we'd be doing plastic surgery, and that's not something we could do. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going over this area here with a lighter color, because I want to bring this out. And I'm placing it. And now I can go back and blend it. And see? All right, so I'm going to do the other side. So you see, this is what it looks like right now. Just a very light, natural, and I don't really have too much of a contrast from the makeup, from the eyeshadow, from her skin. And if you start noticing you have a little fallout, I always like to take a latex sponge or a non-latex sponge and lightly brush it off. All right, so the next step I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be applying the dark color. Now, what I want to do is I want to apply the color along the brow bone. I'm going to be, see this right here, I'm going to apply it like right where the handle is, right there. And I'm not going to go any past further than the outside corner of her eye. So pretend there's an imaginary line from the corner of your eye to your eyebrow. You don't want any makeup to go past that, because what happens if you do, it's going to drag the eye down, and that will age her. This is what I'm going to do. So basically I'm just going to apply it right across here, and I'm going to be placing the color, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to blend. Right. So I'm going to be placing it just like that. All right, so I'm going to do the other side. All right, so you can see what I did right here. Open your eyes, Mary. Okay, go a little forward here. Okay, close your eyes. Now you can see how I just applied it there and there. And if you drew a line for the outside corner eye from here to here, it doesn't pass. That is where I want to put the eyeshadow. And then I'm going to do is going to blend it, and then it will blend up above the brow bone. So that's kind of the map that you can do for your eyeshadows. Okay. So at this point, I like to use a fluffy brush to blend. I like to use a brush like this, or you can use a brush like this. So, but I'm actually going to use this brush. This is my favorite, one of my favorite blending brushes. And when you blend, think of it as mixing. Where the two colors meet, that's where I want it to blend. Where the middle of the color, that's the intensity of the color, I want to leave that alone. So I basically want that intensity, but I don't want to see any harsh lines. Now you can see I also lift up on her brow bone, because again, it's also called aging too, when our brows like to end up sitting on our eyelids, unfortunately. So basically I'm just going over and I'm just working it. Just here, and I'm working it here. There you go, it's nice and blended. You can still see her brow bone, but there's a little color, and a little color on top of there, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some dark right through here and here. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little more darkness right through here and kind of connect these two lines, because right now it's disconnected and I don't want that. So I'm going to go with a little bit darker color than that, and I'm going to work that. And on the brush I'm going to use is more of a pointy brush, because if I used a bigger brush, it's going to take over too much real estate there. So I really want this to be more precise. Again, I'm dipping the brush into the makeup and then taking the excess off. And I'm placing it through here, and I'm meeting through here. Okay, you see there? I go like there. Just gonna open your eyes. You see again how the outside corner of her eye, it's not past that at all. It's lifting up. Okay, there we go. We're gonna go back to the other side there. And again, I'm going to be blending it afterwards. All right, there we go. Close your eyes. And you can see how it's just right in there. I'm going to intensify this a little bit more because I've evened it out. All right, so now I'm going to go back and blend. And here's another little trick. When you're blending with a fluffy brush, and what happens is that you're picking up the makeup and you're blending and you're moving it around. Well, that means some of that makeup's sticking on your brush. So what you need to do is you need to remove the excess of that makeup off the brush so that you can blend more when you go to the other side, because if you don't, you'll just be transferring the makeup from this side that's on this brush to the other side, and you won't get it blended as evenly. Eyes. All right, let's get you a little closer. There you go. You see how it's just on the outside here and here, because that is the heaviest part of her brow bone, and we want to minimize that. Okay, open your eyes again. And then I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher there. Okay, close your eyes. You can lean back now. And when you have very prominent brow bones, you will need to kind of bring up the skin. Now don't bring it down this way. You want to bring it up, because if you bring it down this way, you'll start dragging the makeup down past your eye, and then you'll create that aging look in your eyes, and who wants that again? Okay, open your eyes. Here we go. You see there? See how she's got some color there without having it too much? There's intensity without this harsh line. Okay, so that's the dark. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to kind of line through here, do the liner, mascara, and that's it. All right, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to do some eyeliner. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do eyeliner, and then I'm going to go over with the shadow, and that will just actually blend everything and connect it all together. This is a little trick that I do for eyelining, and it also can translate for someone that has more mature eyes. What I do is what I'm going to do is a series of dots. Have you close your eyes, and I'm going to pull up on that brow bone, and I'm going to start from the outside, and I'm just kind of little dots and dashes right along the lash line there. On top of having deep set eyes, Mary also has small eyes, so she's got two things that we have to deal with. So we don't want to line her eyes all the way around. I add a little piece of eye makeup from the pencil, a little blob, so I'm taking that off. All right, so open your eyes. So you can see it's just finely along the lash line, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to blend. Now, I'm not going to do the cat eye look because I find that it actually closes up the eyes in someone that has deep set eyes. You don't want that. We want to open it up. Now, to smudge, you can smudge the line several different ways. You can use brushes, cotton buds, or even the back of your pencil that you used it to line your eyes. I'm going to be using this brush, and I'm going to go over and I'm just going to smudge the line. I notice I need to do a little connect the dots a bit more. So don't be afraid to go back in. If you suddenly realize that you didn't do the line quite straight, then go back and work with it. You okay, Mary? Mm-hmm. And sometimes you get a little bit of makeup falling down. That's where the sponge comes in. Okay, there you go. See the difference? Now I'm going to do the other side now. All right, see that? All right, now I'm going to do the bottom lids. Now, one thing, I will not line all the way around. Like I said, it closes up the eyes, and when you have small eyes, it even makes it even worse. So we want to make your eyes look big. So I'm only going to go halfway. So look up. Again, I just go down there. So sometimes people don't really have many lashes, and Mary's one of them that doesn't really have any bottom lashes. So I'm just going to be very light because I don't want to be like too harsh of a line. It's almost like a shadow. Speaking of shadow, you don't even need to use pencil for under here. You can use an eyeshadow as a liner. In her case, she'd be perfect for that. But I just wanted to show you the technique with the pencil. There we go. So now I'm going to go back in with the darker shadow and go over the pencil that I just did. It will soften it and it brings it all together. I'm placing the makeup on. There we go. And I'm kind of going back over a little bit more intense color over here. Soften this. Okay, you see the difference? Blush eyes versus that side. All right, so I'm going to do the other side here. There you go. See how it's all connecting now? Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to go on the bottom lashes. Now I'm going to use a lighter color. I'm not going to use the same dark color that I used in the top lid. I'm going to use a lighter color in the bottom. And the reason is a little softer look, and also because since she doesn't really have any bottom lashes, what happens is that you don't want to go for something that's too dark because it just looks too harsh. You don't have those lashes to buffer it. So I'm just going to make it a nice soft shadow line. All right. See how her eyes just pop now? You don't really see a lot of the brow bone here. Now, also, I'm not going to be putting any eye makeup here. Normally, like you'd see normal, you'd put a highlight here. Well, the highlight brings things out. Dark recedes. Well, you already have it naturally coming out. So why do we want to put more on it? Because if we did that, it'll just make it more puffier and will just defeat what we were trying to do. And if you find, like, if you're looking in the mirror and you want to like actually add a little bit more up here I just take the residue that's on my brush and just go over here, just above here, and it helps minimize this area, it creates more of a shadow. See the difference? Okay, and now what I'm going to do is final thing, I'm going to do a little shimmer right across here. Now I'm going to be using this brush again to apply the little highlight. Now you want to make sure that you want to remove any of the makeup that you had on it before, because if you don't, you'll just muddy up the highlight. So again, remember to brush it against Kleenex or a towel or something to even clean it up to get most of the makeup off. Now I'm going to do a little shimmer, because that light shimmer will reflect lighting and it will kind of soften it and bring it out. So I'm going to do a little shimmer here, and it's kind of this color right here. Okay, so close your eyes. And I'm placing it. All right, I don't know if you can see the difference there. Close your eyes. See how it has a little pop versus this side here? All right, I'm gonna do the other side now. And there was a little shimmer there, so. All right. There you go. See how her eyes pop out? Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be adding her mascara. Now I'm not going to be doing false lashes. I know the big thing about lashes and stuff like that. I personally don't like to wear them because I'm allergic to the latex that's in the glues. And this is more of an everyday sort of look. But if you were going to use lashes, those full strip lashes are not your friend because they're usually too big. So individual lashes would be better for you, and all you would do is just apply a little bit just right here. That's all you do, because especially when you have small eyes and deep set eyes, lots of lashes, they'll just be too heavy and they will close it, okay? So we're not going to be doing that. So next step, mascara. All right, so now when I apply mascara, this is a little trick. When I'm doing mascara on someone else, I like to use a brush like this. It's like a fan brush, and I can get really close to the lashes. But this doesn't work so well on yourself. So if you're doing this on yourself, just use something like this. But if you're going to be applying makeup on someone else, try one of these. This makes it a lot easier. Less likely you'll mess up your eye makeup, because you won't get mascara all over everything. Now I'm not going to be doing her bottom lashes for mascara because she really doesn't have any lashes. And when someone doesn't have many lashes, you don't want to draw that attention to that. So you just might as well just avoid it altogether. Look, stare right over there. Okay, see, Mary's all done up. I ended up adding a little bit of lip color. I ended up adding a little bit of highlight on her cheekbones to kind of brighten up her eyes a little bit more. And if you liked what you saw and you would love to have your own personal makeup tutorial, guess what, you can, because now I'm offering virtual makeup lessons in the comfort of your own home. So I will leave all that information in the comment box for you to check out my website. And again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.